Okay, I got the video back. Maybe this blab just isn't meant to be. I don't know. So this is really, I know I'm tweeting it through the Dr. Ben Feng Twitter handle, but on Facebook it's in Daddy in the Raw. This is really a blab for my new dad blog called Daddy in the Raw. It's daddyintheraw.com, the real life of a work-at-home dad. So for those of you that don't know, this past 18 to 20 months or so, I've actually been working from home. I have a really crazy, diverse income stream. Sometimes we're smoking on that red line fault. We're not sure if we're going to make it this month, but it's been a crazy journey. That's what the website's all about. I've decided to take up the mantle of being an entrepreneur. That whole 10-year plan of being all done by then. But this blab, real quick, before I have to run away and get back to crunching some crazy Excel numbers, is about bribing versus parenting and versus rewarding. And it's a discussion that my wife and I had a little while back on, what's the difference? And it brought me back to my psychology days. And the bottom line is this, at least the way we found it was, bribing is reinforcing the lack of bad behavior, whereas rewarding is, reinforcing the presence of good behavior. And it's subtle, but it's also important to realize, because if you go back to those operands of reinforcement and punishment, the positive and the negative, right? Positive means you give something, negative means you take something away. So you can positively reward somebody by giving them something they want. You can negatively reward them by taking away something they don't want. You can positively punish them by giving them something that they don't want to have, and you can negatively punish them by taking away something they do want to have. And all punishments are supposed to create a behavioral response of decreasing that behavior's frequency, and all reinforcements or rewards are supposed to increase that particular behavior set. And we're realizing that, if you start to reinforce the lack of bad behaviors, you start to go down that funny line of mismatching the punishment and reward system. I think the classical research in psychology mentioned that, if you positively punish somebody, that gives you the worst response, right? If you give somebody more of what they don't want, and they weren't going to have it anyway, but now because they, quote, misbehaved, now they get more of that bad stuff, pretty soon that's going to turn into a situation of animosity. Whereas if you take away, certain things that they don't want as a reward, or you take away certain things that they don't want as a punishment, the absence of what they already have as a norm becomes quite a motivator, right? And I think that that's where we need to be, especially in the toddler situations, sometimes it's very difficult to communicate, right? Their emotions are crazy, and we need to balance out that reward and punishment mechanism so that we don't go into bribing them for stuff, because eventually bribes only lead to what? Higher bidding bribes. And before it's, you can have a candy, you can have a chocolate, you can have a bite of this, you can have some TV time or screen time. Then it turns into, no, I don't want just 5 minutes of screen time, I want 10, or I want 20, or 3, or I want a whole video game set. It gets crazy. Versus, instead of focusing on all the bad behaviors, why don't you outcompete the bad behaviors by reinforcing the ones that you want, by rewarding them for the good behaviors? Because kids can only have so many behaviors in 24 hours, right? And it's a grind because they're toddlers and they're emotional, and it's the terrible twos, and my wife told me there's a new term out there called three-nagers, and I'm still trying to catch up with some of that. But anyway, that was just a quick blab I wanted to do before I got back to my my other work. And I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to post this on my dad blog, Daddy in the Raw, and otherwise, I hope to see you there. I really appreciate your support. It's kind of a new aspect for me, kind of diverging from the professional image into really more of a personal, transparent, raw, and vulnerable image. And I hope you get to know each other, and you like what you see, and just the transparency of it all, that nobody really ever has it all put together. I'm just a total goofball. So that's that for now. I'm gonna sign out of here, and I'll post that as a surprise midweek video blog blab deal, and I will see you later. Take care.